Welcome everyone to Nottingham KL campus. This is not as beautiful as their Semenyih campus, which is considered the most beautiful campus in KL, in Malaysia. But I would like to welcome all of you and Brother Mustafa again to this new building, right? You never been here before? Right. I think all of you know Brother Mustafa. He was with us yesterday for the whole day at Concord Hotel, a very renowned writer, journalist, and scholar as well. He had given talks at many places across the globe and had written in many established journals and magazines, especially Al-Hurriyat, and I think he wrote in this, what do you call, Monitor as well, right? Al-Monitor. Yeah, Al-Monitor, yeah. And beside him is Dr. Harlina Siraj. She's my compatriot, my friend, and from IKRAM. She's a specialist, an associate professor in obstetric and gynecologist from UKM, very well-known IKRAM activist. I've known her for many, many years, but I've never been acquainted with her. Now I'm getting the opportunity to do so. And beside her is Dr. Patricia Martinez, an associate professor, former associate professor at University of Malaya. She's very unique, a very unique friend of mine. She has PhD in Islamic studies from Jordan. You might not believe me, but you know, we have a lot of these professors in Islamic studies in the US, right, and in Europe as well, in UK and Europe as well. Piscatori, for example, Piscatori and Esposito, for example, right? But it's very rare in this particular country to have such a scholar, and she always corrects the the Arabic grammar on her Facebook and stuff.
I'm still the only one.
Okay, yeah. All right. And beside her is Aston Fiver. He's a very well-known human rights activist lawyer. He has been with me, we had been on the stage talking about human rights, especially, when was this? End of last year, for example. And a very articulate lawyer, and I believe lawyers are mostly articulate, but this is exceptional. Okay, he's exceptional. And of course, the final one is Zaina Anwar. Everybody knows her. I've known her even, I don't know when, it was maybe 30 years ago or something like that. Yeah, I mean, she's very renowned activist, and I don't know whether she likes to be known as a feminist, but everybody knows that, her work is basically acknowledged all over the world, right? It's acknowledged all over the world, and and they are one of the feared most organization in this country by Jakim, right? And yeah, I think we are going to discuss this topic. This is basically a very important topic for us, especially in the political climate or what we're having nowadays in Malaysia. We're talking about this religious diversity in illiberal democracies. Why do we choose illiberal democracy? I came across this term, basically, to be honest, probably around 10 to 15 years ago when I read the book by Farid Zakaria, yeah, Illiberal Democracies, Home and Abroad. I think I came across that term. It was the first time in my life that I came across, and when I read the book, then it gave me an impression, a very important understanding about what illiberal democracies is all about. You have heard these leaders of this country, they say we are a democracy. We hold elections every 4 or 5 years, right? Yeah, you might be a democracy, but it's not a liberal democracy. It's an illiberal democracy. And as you have known that according to the latest ranking by Economist Intelligence Unit, Malaysia had dropped down, and even before, Malaysia was ranked under what we call as flawed democracy, right? There are 4 types, there are 4 categories, right? The third category, just before authoritarian regime, would be flawed democracy, and we are there. We can be proud of that. I don't know, but we are there, and now we are down, lower than Indonesia, right? So this is a situation right now in this country, and because of this concept of illiberal democracy that we're having nowadays, we see that a lot of minorities, right? A lot of religious minorities in this country. We're not talking only about Christians or about any non-Muslim sects, but we're talking about even the Muslim sects, like the Shiites and the Ahmadis, right? They were persecuted in this country, and every now and then you will see that they raided Shiites' houses. They put these adults and children in the same cell. That's the situation in this country. They ransacked their study center. They took away their books and their magazines. And in fact, Ahmadis, I think, was worse in a way that there was this signboard erected, I think in somewhere in what is that place in Selangor? Gombak, yeah, in Gombak, saying that Ahmadiyya is not from Islam, right? It's as simple as that. So, meaning to say that you have this kind of problems in this particular country, and this hatred towards Shiites is becoming more and more by days, right? The problem is that whatever that is happening in the Middle East, the wars and everything, the killings, the beheadings, and rapes and mutilations, I believe that we might be exposed, and we might be basically practicing the same thing if this kind of hatred is being promoted again and again by the authorities, and especially by the religious authorities in Malaysia. We're not talking about Christians have their own problems, and we have Patricia here who would be addressing this problem in this particular country. We have problem about the issue of the kalimat of Allah and a few other things, about erecting crosses, and these simple things that were not a problem before is a problem nowadays, right? So we think that, we hope that Brother Akil and the rest of the panelists will be able to dissect this topic much deeper. With that, I would like to welcome Brother Mustafa Akil. Thank you.